Right, let's start with significant transfer news. Trent Alexander-Arnold is moving closer to joining Real Madrid. Our chief reporter, Kaveh Solokol, is back with me. Now, everybody knows Madrid want him. Why haven't they signed him?
Well, look, they've tried. In the January transfer window, they offered £20 million for him, even though he's out of contract this summer, but that was rejected out of hand by Liverpool. The reason this has dragged on is because he's going to be out of contract in the summer. So it suits Real Madrid to get him for nothing in the summer. Obviously, they will have to pay him significant wages, although they're not going to break the bank for him. They'll probably have to give him a signing-on fee as well. But we've been here before. When a player as good as Trent Alexander-Arnold is available on a free transfer, clubs like Real Madrid make sure that they do everything they can to get their man. And this has been a long-term operation for Real Madrid. The first thing they wanted to do is make sure that he did not sign a contract extension with Liverpool. That was the most important thing to begin with for them. And it looks like he hasn't yet, and there's only 3 months to go before he's a free agent. The second part of the operation is to convince him to move to Real Madrid. Now, most players don't need a lot of convincing to move to Real Madrid. I think I should point out that Trent Alexander-Arnold has not told Liverpool that he wants to leave. He's still a Liverpool player. And also, Liverpool have not been told by Real Madrid that they have an agreement with the player or his representatives. That would need to happen before any deal could be formally announced. But as usual, the Spanish media, especially those ones who have very, very close contracts with Real Madrid, are really talking up this move. And this evening, quite a few Spanish outlets are saying that this deal is now very, very close. One of them is saying that it's about to happen, but nothing from Liverpool. I think the general feeling in football, though, is that Real Madrid will end up getting their man, although, as you sort of hinted at in your question, this is a transfer that has really happened in slow motion.
Yeah, but it's not the only one. There's Trent, there's Virgil van Dijk, there's Mohamed Salah. Now, if you're a Liverpool fan, should you be worried that nothing seems to have happened?
I think the most important thing is, if you're a Liverpool fan, you focus on the Premier League table. Look at the Premier League table. You're 12 points clear. You're on your way to winning the title again with Trent Alexander-Arnold, with Mohamed Salah, with Virgil van Dijk. I get what you're saying, though, because this whole situation surrounding those three players' contracts has been a little bit of a distraction, although not on the pitch. If I was a Liverpool fan, it would be something that I would be losing a little bit of sleep over. But having said that, I think you just have to trust the people who run Liverpool. Everybody knows it's an extremely well-run club. The recruitment department is one of the best in the world. They have been talking to these players' representatives. They have been making them contract offers. They obviously haven't come to an agreement yet, but who knows? But I think all along, people have been saying the one who's most likely to leave is Trent Alexander-Arnold because of his age, his profile, and the fact that Real Madrid want him. But let's not jump to any conclusions until there is an official announcement there is an official.
OK, so he's the most likely to leave. Any chance, though, he could stay?
I mean, stranger things have happened in football. He hasn't told Liverpool that he wants to leave. I suppose until his contract runs out, you would have to say there is a possibility that he stays. But I think most Liverpool fans are now resigned to the fact that he is going to leave. I think always when you leave a club on a free transfer, especially a club where you've been all your life, I think it's really, really important that you do things the right way. And so far, you have to say that I know some Liverpool supporters are upset, especially the ones who've been vocal on social media again today. But for what it's worth, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold has behaved in the correct way. He hasn't said he wants to leave. He hasn't come out and given interviews, and he hasn't come up with phantom injuries. He hasn't thrown his toys out of the pram. He's still playing exceptionally well for Liverpool, and they're 12 points clear at the top of the table. And what will be regarding his future and the future of the other. This is all to do with Christian Romero, the Tottenham centre-back. Now, this summer, he will have 2 years left on his contract. his contract will run out in 2027. So the way the transfer market works, you would have to think that Tottenham would be very, very tempted either to sell the player or to convince him to sign a new contract. Now, Atletico Madrid are interested in signing him. And of course, they can offer him Champions League football and the opportunity to work with Diego Simeone. They're both from Argentina. He's won the World Cup with Argentina as well. Now, moving to Atletico Madrid may make sense for the player because he could play in the Champions League. But if Tottenham win the Europa League this season, they would be in the Champions League as well. I think it is going to be a crunch summer for the player because you get the feeling that either he's got to sign a new contract at Tottenham or Tottenham will have to sell him. And if they do decide to sell him, they don't have to because he's contracted to 2027, I think Atletico Madrid are interested in signing the player.
Real Madrid are in talks over finalising the signing of Liverpool fullback Trent Alexander-Arnold on a free transfer this summer. Discussions over the protracted transfer are ongoing as the Spanish side look to secure the England international before the start of next season. Multiple sources close to the negotiations have told BBC Sport that while a deal is still to be fully agreed, work towards completing the transfer is reaching the closing stages, though nothing has been signed yet. Alexander-Arnold is in the final 3 months of his contract at Liverpool and is free to discuss a move abroad. Real have made the 26-year-old a priority target this summer, with sources close to the situation saying the Spanish club have been tracking the player for close to 2 years. Alexander-Arnold has spent his entire career at Anfield, coming through the academy to make more than 300 appearances for the club. He has won every major trophy while playing for Liverpool and is the club's vice-captain. He has established himself as a key member of a side that won the Premier League, Champions League and Club World Cup in the space of 14 months in 2019 and 2020. Alexander-Arnold signed a new 4-year contract in the summer of 2021 and scored penalties in shootouts of both finals as Liverpool won the League Cup and FA Cup in 2021-22. The England fullback was named in the PFA Team of the Season for the 3rd time at the end of that campaign and in July 2023 was named Liverpool vice-captain. "I've never been shy of saying what my ambitions are, and that's always been to captain this club," Alexander-Arnold said at the time. "This is a pathway and a stepping stone to that." By the summer of 2024, he had just a year left on his contract, and with no suggestion that a new deal was close to being agreed, the relationship between Liverpool fans and Alexander-Arnold has become more strained. Alexander-Arnold irritated some Red supporters in October by saying in an interview with Sky Sports that he would rather win a Ballon d'Or, external football's most prestigious individual honour, than another Champions League with Liverpool. Since then, there has been a belief among some fans that he is more focused on his own achievements. In December, he celebrated scoring against West Ham with a chat gesture, referencing the gossip about his future. That brought more fan frustration given that by not publicly stating his desire to stay or leave, Alexander-Arnold had done little to quieten speculation over where he will be playing football next season. Reports that Real had made an offer to bring the Liverpool number 66 to Madrid in January coincided with a tough afternoon for Alexander-Arnold against Manchester United, leading to abuse from some of his own fans inside Anfield. While the defender has helped put Liverpool in a strong position to win the Premier League title in the months since, it remains to be seen what kind of reception Alexander-Arnold will receive from supporters as he looks increasingly likely to leave his boyhood club for nothing. Should Alexander-Arnold join Real, he would emulate Steve McManaman, who moved from Liverpool to Madrid on a free transfer in 1999. If he does choose to go to Real Madrid and he does choose to forge a new adventure with a new language and a new lifestyle, all credit to him, McManaman told BBC Sport. It's a fantastic opportunity for him if he does go, and no doubt that he will be a superstar there as well. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk and top scorer Mohamed Salah are also out of contract at the end of the season, but McManaman thinks a homegrown player like Alexander-Arnold leaving for free would be viewed differently by supporters. It's unfair to expect homegrown players to commit to one club for their entire career. If Van Dijk or Salah leave, then it's Liverpool's fault. If Trent were to leave, then it's Trent's fault, he added. While Northern Ireland international Conor Bradley has proven a reliable replacement when called up in the past 2 seasons, McManaman believes Alexander-Arnold would leave a considerable hole at Liverpool. Bradley is a completely different player to Trent Alexander-Arnold, the two-time Champions League winner said. Trent's numbers in an attacking sense are absolutely fantastic, but Liverpool fans and everybody will hope that Conor Bradley will be able to fill that void. You have a standard level and every year, you try and improve and get better and better. We all hope that Conor Bradley achieves that and becomes the superstar that people are talking about when they talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent Alexander-Arnold is reportedly close to reaching an agreement with Real Madrid for a free transfer from Liverpool this summer, with some even suggesting that the matter is a done deal at this point. Still, nothing has been officially confirmed from either end of the proposed arrangement. Christian Romero has been a hugely trending Tottenham topic recently despite missing a significant chunk of the season through injury. The Spurs defender has made just 3 Premier League appearances since late November due to a number of separate issues. Early into his first injury comeback, which was against Chelsea in late 2024, Romero picked up a groin issue and despite returning to training in February, was nowhere to be seen for several weeks. In that time out of the team, he rather brutally called out the club's ownership for not backing Ange Postecoglou in the transfer market. Further public comments, seemingly against the club, came after his return to action against Bournemouth earlier, where he thanked the Argentina medical team for solving the issue that was plaguing him. Ange Postecoglou says Tottenham's Christian Romero out for 4 or 5 weeks. His defensive attributes are impressive, but it is actually his ability on the ball that is so important for the Lily Whites. Given those qualities and how the last few months have elapsed, it is no surprise to see him linked to an exit, with Sky Sports claiming Atletico Madrid are interested in signing the 26-year-old this summer. The worst-case scenario for Tottenham would definitely be Postecoglou, and then, given his clear belief in the Tottenham manager, Romero leaving, but not all hope should be lost if that ends up happening. That is because a Kevin Danso will be signed permanently for £21 million at the end of his loan spell. While not quite at the level of Romero, he has shown himself as a more than capable defender, and that would also mean a replacement has already been signed. The teenager has enjoyed a number of successful loan spells over the last 18 months, and seeing how Lucas Bergvall has taken so quickly to Premier League football, Spurs will be hopeful that Vuskovic can have a similar impact even if both Postecoglou and Romero are not at the club for next season. January coincided with a tough afternoon for Alexander-Arnold against Manchester United, leading to abuse from some of his own fans inside Anfield. While the defender has helped put Liverpool in a strong position to win the Premier League title in the months since, it remains to be seen what kind of reception Alexander-Arnold will receive from supporters, as he looks increasingly likely to leave his boyhood club for nothing. Should Alexander-Arnold join Real, he would emulate Steve McManaman, who moved from Liverpool to Madrid on a free transfer in 1999. If he does choose to go to Real Madrid and he does choose to forge a new adventure with a new language and a new lifestyle, all credit to him, McManaman told BBC Sport. It's a fantastic opportunity for him if he does go, and no doubt that he will be a superstar there as well. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk and top scorer Mohamed Salah are also out of contract at the end of the season, but McManaman thinks a homegrown player like Alexander-Arnold leaving for free would be viewed differently by supporters. It's unfair to expect homegrown players to commit to one club for their entire career. If Van Dijk or Salah leave, then it's Liverpool's fault. If Trent were to leave, then it's Trent's fault, he added. While Northern Ireland international Conor Bradley has proven a reliable replacement when called up in the past 2 seasons, McManaman believes Alexander-Arnold would leave a considerable hole at Liverpool. Bradley is a completely different player to Trent Alexander-Arnold, the 2-time Champions League winner said. Trent's numbers in an attacking sense are absolutely fantastic, but Liverpool fans and everybody will hope that Conor Bradley will be able to fill that void. You have a standard level and every year, you try and improve and get better and better. We all hope that Conor Bradley achieves that and becomes the superstar that people are talking about when they talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent Alexander-Arnold is reportedly close to reaching an agreement with Real Madrid for a free transfer from Liverpool this summer, with some even suggesting that the matter is a done deal at this point. Still, nothing has been officially confirmed from either end.